Good evening, bonsoir, Ani, and welcome to our September 15th regular council meeting. We are extremely thrilled tonight because we're back home for the first time since March 2020. And you may not see it, but council members each have plexiglass in between each other, ensures our safety, and also one of the reasons why we, as we're sitting here, we have to put our mask on and continue our dialogue. I also want to note that this is Councillor Bob Prévost's first meeting in the council chamber, and so we finally know what he really looks like in person. So welcome, Bob, to our meeting. So with that, I would like to call this meeting to order, and I need a resolution to adopt the agenda. Moved by Dean and Dave. There are no additions, Madam Clerk. Okay. All those in favor? Thank you. Oh, so nice. I can actually see you. I can see you. Wow. So thrilled. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, we'll move on. There are no delegations tonight for this agenda. Thank you. So let's move on to reports and items for consideration tonight. On 6.1, general government. 6.1.1, we need a COVID-19 update.
Thank you, through you, Madam Mayor. Just a brief update in terms of the recent announcement a few weeks ago from the province that are requiring mandatory vaccinations to enter certain facilities. Some of those facilities affected are our fitness center, our Alban Community Center, and our arena facilities. We're currently working with the health unit to adopt our protocols and work out the details in terms of the proof of vaccinations, and we're hoping to release that information within the upcoming weeks. And our director is also working with the people responsible for programming over at the ACC. I know a lot of individuals and a lot of groups are anxiously awaiting to get back to their activities to work out the details on how the proof of vaccination and who will be responsible to gather that information. So briefly, those are the quick updates. We're also in the process of looking at the vaccination policy for the municipality itself. So there may be something coming to council in the upcoming meetings at that point in time.
Thank you. Questions to the CAO with regards to COVID-19? Seeing none, we're going to move on to item 6.1.2, land lease extension agreement, the Scollard Park. And I believe, Mel, you're going to speak to it?
Yes, I can speak to it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So this is a renewal agreement for a land lease agreement that we've had with the Abaya family since 2010. So this is on the land that we've called Scollard Discovery Park. This is a land that was acquired by a donation in 2007. The municipality is held to a memorandum of understanding with the gentleman who donated the land. So one of the conditions was that the municipality continued to allow the land lease for the Abaya's Sugar Bush operations. So this would be our last renewal. Then in 5 years, we're going to be required to draw up a new agreement. Are there any questions?
Any questions, Councillor Randy?
Go red. There we go. Ooh. Hi. So we have a second agreement for the field in front, though, correct? This is separate one from the other that we rent to a farmer as well who maintains that land?
We've had, am I on? We've had before. So there's still, I'm not sure if they're still using it for their pasture or for the hay, but we've had an agreement, yes.
Any other questions with regards to the lease agreement? Seeing none,
We have a bylaw, yes.
we have
Yes.
a motion.
Yes.
Yes. So I need a mover and a seconder. Rick and Randy?
It is duly moved and seconded, but resolved that bylaw 2021-52, being a bylaw to enter into a land lease extension agreement with Alan and Anya Ba for a maple syrup operation, be read first, second, and third time and finally passed.
All right, let's move on to item 6.2, finances. 6.1, contribution agreement with the North Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation for a youth intern. I believe Matt, you're going to speak to it?
Yes, if council remembers, through the budget process, there was funding provided for an additional bylaw enforcement officer. We took the opportunity to make application for government funding, who have graciously funded a portion of the person's salary for 1 year, so offsetting some of our costs. So that's basically what the agreement is for. I think it's a maximum of $35,000 contribution.
Any questions? Randy?
Through you, Madam Chair. So what is the intent purpose for the youth intern? What will they be doing for the municipality?
As I mentioned, Councillor Randy, it's our newly hired bylaw enforcement officer.
Other questions? Seeing none, I need a move seconder. Me and Dave.
It is duly moved in second, be it resolved that bylaw 2021-53, being a bylaw to authorize the contribution agreement with NOHFC, be read at first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. I'll move on to 6.3, Public Works and Services. 6.3.1, award of for safety retrofit of the Public Works Building report. And I believe, Flery, you're going to speak to it?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Back in December 2020, the municipality applied for funding through the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, COVID Resilience Infrastructure Stream, for the safety retrofit of the Public Works building. The intent of the safety retrofit was to provide physical separations between municipal employees and also increase the capacity of common areas to be able to follow COVID-19 guidelines. The request for tender for renovations was issued by Perrin Perry Architects, Inc. from Sudbury on behalf of the municipality on August 23rd, 2021, with the submission deadline of Thursday, September 9th, 2021. We received 5 bids ranging from $172,000 up to $269,500. The application for funding was for budget. The application for funding was approved through the ICIP for the amount of $100,000. The municipality allocated $60,000 to the project within the 2021 capital budget. Based on the lowest bid received, the architect's professional fees and charges amount to $21,735 plus HST. The revised budget for the project is $198,000. Which is a difference of $38,000 from the budget, from the 2021 capital budget. The reason for the increase, if you recall, the estimate was done in December 2020, and we received the bids 9 months later. There's a difference, increases because of increase of material costs and labor due to the COVID-19 pandemic, steel, lumber, labor. And the difference will be financed by the capital reserves for building. We have an amount available, about $503,000 in the capital reserve for buildings. So as a recommendation, is recommended that council award contract 2021-12 for the Public Works Safety Building Safety Retrofit to Capital Construction 2007 Inc. for an amount of $172,591 plus applicable taxes.
Thank you. Any questions? Randy?
Through you, Madam Chair, I'd like to take a moment to ask council to consider that the bid from DMC Electric falls in at $196,000 and $3,000 behind the allocated budget amount. So, and this company has made huge capital investments in our community here in Alden, Ontario. They've installed a new facility. They have employees in our community, and I feel it's prudent that they can do the work professionally as they've done for us before in the past, and perhaps choosing this company rather than just choosing the lowest bid may be a good step for the financial security of our community. Thank you.
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, our procurement policy requires to take the lowest bid unless there's extenuating circumstances, as well as the law doesn't allow us to favor local. Am I correct?
Yes. But
So
But
to
it-
say that we're choosing it because they are local, I believe, somebody can answer that one.
If I may, DMC is part of the contract with Capital Construction. They are a subcontractor, and the amount they're going to be doing the mechanical HVAC and also the electrical work, which is amounts to about $67,000. So they are part of the award of contract through a subcontract.
Through you, Madam Chair. So I just want to be clear, because we've been given 5 choices here, 5 people that submitted, and to see that, you know, we've been said here, we'd like you to choose. It says you're not forced to choose. And just for a little more clarity, I understand that, you know, we went out to capital procurement. We've been given some options here as council, and I think council should be allowed to decide between the 5 choices that have met the criteria.
I have Mark, and I have Rick.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still getting used to the on-off. Through you, Madam Chair, respectfully, yes, it'd be nice to be able to support that, but procurement law is very clear in how we tender our processes and keep an open environment. If there's no extenuating circumstances not to choose the lowest bid, then we need to follow the lowest bid process at this point in time, and our procurement does not allow for preferential treatment because of where companies reside. So that's the way the procurement is written, and those as staff as our recommendations following the procurement process and procurement law at this point in time, unless our financial officer would like to add anything.
I just want to quote from the procurement policy, legislative, it's section 21-2, the discriminatory business practices as amended in the Canadian Free Trade Agreement prohibit local preference in acquiring goods and services. We're not allowed to use that as a criteria.
Thank you. Well, I think Mark said most of it, but I was just going to say, I mean, that's the reason why we have a process. It takes away the preference of one to the other. I mean, if we have this process and then we don't adhere to it, then, you know, we can choose who we want, and that's not. I mean, I understand that one could be local or not, but I think it's more. It's the system works, and it's the way it should be for the benefit of the system and for the benefit of us, the ones that are making the decision. I wouldn't want that option to come back to me and say, hey, you know what, you voted one for the other because you can and you want to. No. I think this process is the way it should go, and it's the way it's done everywhere. So, thank you.
We have music. Is there a way? Thank you. Whoever turned. Any other comments? None. There's a resolution before. I need a move seconder. Move Dean, seconded by Nate. All those in favor? Thank you. All right, let's move on to, let me focus here. 6.4, award of tender for the completion of Phase 2 of the Trail Municipal Complex. And I believe Mac. Oh, Bob. That's why, yeah.
Good
Go
evening, Council. So we issued a tender out in, let's see here, July, and we had no bidders to this tender. So we went out and asked B. Thomas from Melbourne if he wanted to complete this work, and he agreed. And because we had single source, our policy allows us to do this. So the contract is for $71,300, which is, I believe, above our budget. Mark can tell you the exact amount there. So this is phase 2 of the project, which, by the way, is already completed. You can have a nice walk out there if you want and go see what it looks like. So I believe Mel has a resolution to.
Any questions
Turn
with
this.
regards to this tender? Dean?
But I just wondered if this completes the trail now? Are we done with it, with this amount of money?
With that amount of money, it brings a completion to a majority of the trail. There is a future anticipation of trying to connect it to Joe Chartrand Park, but the terrain is fairly significant. I apologize.
Oh, Randy, can you turn your mic on? The light is.
Maybe I should turn mine on.
Okay. So there is a future. Now what the group is going to concentrate on is proper signage and also benches. There's also a program in terms of edible trees that is coming in later on in October. So now it's starting to beautify and put in proper signage and rules and regulations in place.
So this a budgetary item for 2022?
It probably could be a budget item for 2022, but I know the group, they also have funds available to them to help, to assist in bringing this to completion.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you. You said it was already completed. You meant phase 1, right?
No, through you, because of time restrictions and because of availability of the single source contractor, we needed to get things done now and avoid losing our government funding for $50,000.
Okay, it is complete, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Just maybe a comment. I think, Mark, you did approach other, French River Contracting, right? That because they did phase 1 and Davio Contracting also?
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. Yeah, we were scrambling trying to find any, I don't like saying this, but we were scrambling trying to find somebody to do it. And we were very pleased that B. Thomas took it upon themselves to try to complete this project.
Okay, we do have a motion. I need a mover and a seconder, Bob, and seconded by Dave.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be resolved that council awards contract 2021-09 for the completion of the VIA Trail to Baytoma Bulldozing Inc. for an amount of $71,300 plus applicable taxes.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Let's move on. Now, 6.4.2 is the award of musical instrument and additional playground equipment at the Alban Park. And you're taking that?
Yes, thank you, through you, Madam Mayor. As everybody is aware, during the budget deliberations, a project was approved by council, and again, it revised on May 5th with the caveat that the project not start till all the donated funds be made available. We're pleased that during the course of the year, the project has raised $24,400, plus the $5,000 that the council has contributed towards the project. Based on that information and using our purchasing power through the AMO's LAS Municipal Group Buying Program, there was 2 vendors that qualified for the instruments that we were looking for. The 2 vendors being Little Tykes Commercial and Burke Musical Instruments. One in the amount of $18,588, installation included, and the other $18,500 just for the equipment, no installation. we're recommending that we go with the Little Tykes commercial. We're also recommending that council consider authorizing us to purchase additional equipment up to the budgeted amount that we have in funds of $29,400. So that's the recommendation being brought forth to council at this time. Thank you.
Okay, before I open it up, can people please speak right into their microphone? I got a text from one of our listeners who says they can't hear very well. It's one of our fans. Yeah, so speaking, make sure it's close to your mouth. I think, Mel, you sent, the same comment. Okay, I'll open it up for discussion. Randy.
Through you, Madam Mayor. So will we be sending this back to the rec department to choose the instruments? The committee, sorry, the recreation committee? Because I see there's several choices in the package there.
That discussion with the rec committee already took place at the last meeting. That discussion, to my knowledge, took place at the last meeting. I apologize, Councillor Randy, I think you weren't present, yes. The chairman can maybe speak to that.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. So at our rec committee, we discussed the generous donation that we received from the Caisse Populaire Alliance. They gave $20,000 towards this project, and we did agree that the Little Tykes was probably the better way to go. And we were leaving it up to the staff to choose which instruments would go there. I think they have, in this program, we have 3, and they can choose, and perhaps they'll be able to add 1 or 2 more of the instruments depending on the quotes or the prices that they get. So that's what that was the committee's recommendation to council.
Thank you. Other comments? It's kind of nice to see it come to fruition. These projects have been waiting to get complete. Thank you, COVID, but this one looks like it's going to be done, so that's good. I need a motion, and so I move in a seconder, Renee and Dave.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be resolved that council awards the purchase of musical instruments, so playground equipment, to CRCS Recreation, Little Tykes Commercial Dealer, for an amount of $29,400 plus applicable taxes.
Okay. All those in favor? Thank you. Mark, you made a mention that there was some extra monies, or do we need a special motion for that, or we leave it in your hands?
Through you, Madam Chair, the resolution speaks to the maximum amount we can spend.
Yes, so
Perfect.
it says for an amount up to.
Up to, okay, perfect. All right, let's move on. 6.5, emergency protection, there's no report. 6.6, building planning development, there are no report. Correspondence, none, well, I shouldn't say none, but, and then I need, have a look at your consent agenda. Need a resolution to adopt the items contained in the consent agenda, moved by Bob and Randy. All those in favor? Thank you. There are no notices of motion, Madam Clerk. Thank you. Announcement inquiries. Now, back in chamber. We'll go around, and I'll start with Renee today.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Nice to be back in chamber. Maybe just to let people know that the flea market is still on for another 2 Saturdays in Noirville. So that has been really great to see a lot of people attending every Saturday. It's been a nice add-on. I hopefully will continue next year. Also, in Albin on October, the 2nd or 3rd weekend of October, they're looking for volunteers to help with the edible forest gardens that are being started there this year. Next year, we will be hopefully doing the one in Noirville by the Vea Trail. So that's another great addition to the park in Albin, along with the instruments. So, and the beach in Albin open, which was great. Been a lot of work there done. So I think that's pretty much it. All in all, there's been a lot of great things happening throughout the summer, even with COVID. So great work to the staff, and they've worked really hard. So thank you.
Steve?
I don't have any announcements, sorry. I'm good, thank you.
I guess the only thing I'd like to comment on tonight is that how nice it is to be able to look at each one of you people sitting at the council table and not do it on Zoom. I really didn't get out of Zoom meetings. I think that nothing like seeing the people that you're talking to or that you're listening to get more from meetings. So I'm just glad to be back in the council chamber, and I'm looking forward to when we can entertain the public that want to participate when we're having these council meetings. And with that, that's my comment for tonight.
Nothing really, just want to echo Dean's comments. It's really great to be back and nice to see everybody.
I will ditto that. Same here, except for the sun. I like the sun, but right now I could do without.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Also, it's nice to see your faces. My first meeting here with you guys, but I have one leg up on you because for me it's only been a year. You guys, it's been a year and a half. The market was I've heard good things about it. I've been there, and super nice job. Also, I've had lots of compliments for the decorations, the flower decorations in Noelville, in Alban. It was a nice touch, and my hat is off to you, Rene. I believe that was your committee, and super nice job. And that's it, folks. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Mark, any comments? No? I can't see any of you because the sun is in my eyes. I know you're first. Okay, whoever's next. No? No? Anybody beside you? I can't see. Okay. Rock, you're behind. Okay, great. Sure.
Just forgot to mention that the French River Rapids, the Junior A team, have their opening game of the season on Friday night at 7 o'clock. So they are back on the ice. And they did play the other night, and they won 5-1. So it was nice to see.
Thank you. Yes, I had it on my list of things to do. And of course, I echo everybody's sentiment. Just to remind folks, the food bank will be open next Thursday. If you are in need of food, please feel free to come and see us. Open between 9:30 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Do some deliveries for those that do not have a car or who are have mobility issues that cannot make it to the food bank. So please call the municipal office, get yourself on the list, and then we'll take care of you. So with that, I'll move to the next item, which is there is no closed session tonight, correct? And I can't see email, so unless you tell me otherwise. I need a resolution to adopt the confirmation law, moved by Randy.
It is duly moved and seconded, be it resolved that bylaw 2021-54, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Municipality of French River at a meeting held on September 15th, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. And just before we adjourn, we are meeting at 7 o'clock here to deal with a zoning by amendment and to discuss and deal with the travel trailer licensing bylaw. So we'll be back. Folks, come back and watch. It is a public meeting, so you would have had to register in order to be able to speak. And but those of you who cannot can watch it on YouTube. So with that, I need a motion to adjourn, moved by Renee and Dave. All those in favor? Thank you. See you at 7.